If you overstand concepts like the unknowable creator, the liberation from earthly masters, the role of the righteous ancestors, and the role of the gods, and then you couple that to the ability to develop your unusual cultivation of unique consciousness. If many concepts demonstrated in the book Unknowable Masters strike a chord in your soul, you have not arrived there by accident. These profound truths are not for everybody. Not everyone can understand these mysteries. Your inner standing and overstanding and comprehension is not just cleverness. It is the mark of one who has been called by ancestors, crowned by the gods. The mystery is your overstanding. The mystery of your overstanding goes beyond every fraudulent religion. It means that every religion is a fraud. Every prophet is a charlatan. And every holy book is filled with fiction and a little bit of truth or universal truth. Not because these are malicious, but because they claim the logical impossibility that they know and describe the unknowable. This isn't philosophy. This isn't opinion. What they explain is outright bizarre, promoting idols, gods, deities beyond what they are. You need an overstanding, and the mystery of your overstanding is what we are dealing with today. Let's share the logic that is greater than faith, the proof that destroys years of theological tyranny. If anyone, a prophet, a mystic, a scientist, or even a spirit and a god and an ancestor, comes to you today and say they truly know the real creator, I want to guarantee you that they are lying. Their revelation, if it was true, if it is true, if it will be true, it will command universal, instantaneous, irresistible assent, not just for believers or from believers, not just from the educated, but from everyone. The atheist would bow, the skeptics would weep, the child would understand, the genius would have no counter argument. Zero dissent, zero debate, zero doubt. Like gravity or sunlight or moonshine, like the fact that you are reading or hearing something there and there, it will be self-evident, undeniable, and absolute. But there is nobody who knows or can describe the real, unknowable, nameless, not spirit creator. The verdict of fraud is very, very clear, because this has never happened. Moses has not been able to explain the unknowable real creator. He was describing a deity known as Elohim, known as Yahweh, known as Jehovah, known as Adonai. Buddha, sorry. Jesus, sorry. Muhammad did know nothing. Only Allah, who was a deity, a Canaanite deity from El. Krishna, West. Not with any guru, shaman, or quantum mystic claiming to channel source consciousness. There's nothing like that. Every single revelation in human history has been contested, rejected, or ignored by billions. This isn't because humans are stubborn. This isn't because Satan, the devil, is clever and has deceived humanity. This isn't because humanity lacks faith. It is because none of us know, or none of them knew, and none will ever know. Even if, let's say, today someone reviews and defines the real creator and gets universal consent, then what it means is that it's rather too late. Because by today, it is known that over 108 billion humans have come on the earth, lived and died without that knowledge. Too late for the countless souls tortured by false prophets. Too late for the little children sacrificed to imaginary gods. Too late for the gods, the cows, the chooks, and many that are being sacrificed today for the gods and to the ancestors. Too late because people are fighting over fictional revelations. In Nigeria, people are killing each other because of foreign as well as enslaving religions. The absence of universal assent isn't an accident. It is proof that your belief system and your God is a deity, is not the cosmic unknowable one. This is serious and this is true. But There are other people that are uniquely chosen and selected because the immediacy of this profound nudge that you find in yourself comes even against the fact that the ultimate creator is veiled. The source of your unusual understanding must be closer then to something that is beyond the gods and beyond the ancestors, because it is a collective nudge or in your consciousness. How did you come to know what you know and understand what you understand today? The reason is that you have been given an uncreated truth in the form of a key. The realization that you have had that the kingdom of heaven is within you, and that whosoever shall know themselves shall find that kingdom. Therefore, you are obligated to this awakening, to use this knowledge to master and to develop your unusual consciousness, to find liberation from all other masters, both external and internal. Now, we want to visit ancient voices today who speak across time and space to us and left us with messages that are veritable and that are critical in the mystery of what we know. This message is not for everybody. It's for the selective few. When we read the coffin texts from the coffin texts in ancient Kemet, written around 2100 BCE, we read a section there which says, "Make way for me, that I may see Nyunyu, and I may know. For I am that Aku, who passes by the gods. As for any person who knows this spell, he shall be like Ra in the eastern sky, like Ausari in the netherworld." This text is declaring that any person who knows this spell has come to know the kingdom of heaven that is within them, has come to know something that is overstanding in any sphere of understanding and the metaphysics. Then only those who know, those who possess the capacity to overstand the spells, are the ones that will be resurrected and that will rise up, and they will have no limits, because it says, "For I am that Aku," ancestor, in-laws, Mdzim, spirit, righteous ancestor, who passes by the gods. The gods are your Jesuses, your Muhammadis, and all these that have come to tell you that they are your masters. So you pass through them, shining like Ra, and having immortality beyond the netherworld. From the ancient mystery schools, the Hermetic texts speak of initiation through spiritual rebirth, which is our mystic system. This is what they call palingenesia, a baptism in intellect that liberates the soul or the divine spark through direct knowledge, the knowledge beyond the divine. The knowledge contained within the Hermetica was not for casual consumption. Hidden behind veils of symbolism and allegory, this wisdom was meant only for those initiated into the mystery schools. Awakening. In ancient Kemet and many other African esoteric schools, they spoke of this moment of awakening as the steering of the heart by the hidden one, the unknowable one, the unseen one, who is beyond life. Hidden is his name. No one knows it. He hears the prayer of him who is silent, which means you don't pray, which means this is unknowable. So if you know the name of your God, you are worshiping an idol. This is the hymn to Ameno. Ameno means I don't know. We don't know. The call does not come in thunder. It comes in stillness. It comes in a way that cannot be described. If you can describe the way it comes to you or to others, then it's not the way. Tahotep, a sage of ancient Kemet, taught that the humble man is the one whom them gods favors. This speaking of gods, our gods, not any other gods. He who listens is one whom the gods loves. To listen is not merely attention or intention or conscious awareness. It is a turning of your whole So the divine spark becomes a glow. The moment you understand the omni overstand, you are no longer a spectator, but you have entered into a covenant with what you know which is within you. So every generation receives messages through its ancestors. If you ignore your ancestors, you won't receive that message. This is Afro Mystery Wisdom. The text, the chain of hearing never breaks. I have heard the words of those who were before me. My heart has accepted them. I will not transgress what they have spoken. Read in the coffin text, spell 335. To hear such words is to stand within an unbroken linkage and lineage of insight. The listener becomes a bearer of this hearing. Give heed to the words that are spoken to you. The one who hears and neglects is like a tree cut off at its roots. These are the maxims of Anu. When truth is heard and ignored, life itself withers. When truth is heard and lived, the roots deepen and the connection goes further and deeper. Knowing implies action. The wise man is known by his actions, not by his words or rhetoric. The instructions of Tao Te says, if a person claimed to understand my art but lied or oppressed, they showed they had never known it at all. Insight and integrity were one thread. The fabric tore when either was missing. You must guard this core with more than just your life. At Bandu Foundations University, we offer detailed guides and instructions on this mystery, which is your calling, is a costly encounter in which you have heard, you have understood and overstood. Therefore, you are accountable for that. And it puts you on a deadly notice board. What are you going to do? Are you going to ignore, to pretend that you didn't hear or you didn't learn it? One day, you will face a moment of reckoning. Will you be worthy of having been offered such a wonderful offer? You can enhance your responsibility and safeguard your calling by owning and reading the book No More Masters. So one of those tools that you may appreciate after you go through it. In this endeavor, you need to get a copy. Go to our website, marifado.com, or go to Amazon and grab your copy today. You will like it. You will enjoy it. It will give you the steps that you need to remain within the knowledge of your overstanding. The selection is through overstanding. For example, the message in the book No More Masters is not for everyone. It cannot be for everyone. Otherwise, it will become universally accepted. And it would violate its own premise that no human message can compel universal acclaim, because only the Unknowable Creator could do so. The very fact that this message is selective proves its integrity. You understand it not because you are smarter than others, though you are intelligent. If you are intelligent, it helps a little. It's not that because you are more spiritual than others, though sensitivity and mental acuteness is imperative. That you are more educated than others, yes, knowledge assists. You understand because in the gear of overstanding, simply because something within your consciousness has been activated and lit and steered to recognize truth when traditional lies, spiritual lies, religious lies would be more comfortable. This activation, this selection, this mystery is not a mystery of God. It's not even a mystery of the Creator, but a mystery of ancestral resonance, spiritual lineage, and consciousness development that transcends simple materialism. I have heard the words of those who were before me. My heart has accepted them. The coffin text. To hear ancestral teaching is to join a living lineage of awakened people or group. The instructions of Merikare insist that speak truth to the gods. Beware of neglecting what you have heard or what they have commanded. Understanding carries weight. The awakened cannot plead ignorance later. A profound quote indeed. If this message steers your soul, if a man's silence speaks louder than any name, then the hidden one is already drawing you to what you must be learning, to what you must be remembering, and to what you were chosen to know. Our ancient priests taught their carefully selected disciples the true laws and principles that are beyond the universe, beyond the cosmos. This was overstanding, not understanding, but overstanding. That message fell on deaf ears for most, just as it is doing today, but not for your ears. You hear, you understand, you recognize. This is not because you are better than others. It is because you have been awakened and nudged by the gods and the righteous ancestors for purposes beyond current comprehension. Thank you so much for listening thus far. I'm your manager, Rabbi Ellen, saying this is a mystery that you alone will have to deal with. Subscribe, share, comment, like, and get the book No More Masters. That's it. Then you enjoy, because I want to meet some of you in the life beyond this physical, so that we can laugh and have a good time. Amen.